Hello. There is a couple of things that I need to go over. Why am I starting this like a PSA? Listen, there's a couple of things that I need to go through before I do this. One, I am playing Peglin, and I don't know why. I thought long and hard about what to play, and I don't know why this is what I decided to play. I don't even like this game. It often reminds me what an inferior human being I am, that I can't even beat the stupid get the circle into the hole game. But, here we are. I don't even think you want to watch Peglin, but this is where we are. Two, because I am doing this, I am going to make use of this time for me. And I'm going to treat this as a place to unleash my, for lack of a better word, rage at just things in general. Things that I don't understand. Um, because when I don't understand something, it makes me angry, and I need to get that out somewhere. And in this, I'm in an empty room right now. There's no one here. I kind of feel like a crazy person just talking into the oblivion. I mean, I do that anyway, but I just in my head. I'm not sure I should have admitted to that, but I do. I rant in my head, and so saying it out loud is just going to be cathartic, I think. That's what I'm hoping. And I'm going to use this to get all the stuff that I don't understand and makes me angry out there. And because I'm alone, no one will be able to argue with me. No one will be able to speak back. And I will take that silence as justification. I am the most correct person in this room right now, and no one can say otherwise. So, and third thing, as I start a new game, this right here, the gameplay, this means nothing. This is just so that this is a visual stimulus. I am what is important. So if I edit out important parts of the gameplay, I don't care. Okay? I am the important thing. It is my YouTube video. All right? And don't make fun of me. I guess that's number 4. Okay? The first thing that I wanted to talk about is food. And I thought I have this prepared ahead of time, okay? Because I want to know, why does food exist? Okay? Also, this is different than the last time I played. No, the gameplay is not important. Why does food exist? Why is food real? And I know that makes me sound like a crazy person. I know that. But I'm already halfway there with the whole talking to myself thing. So I might as well go all the way. Because I want you to think about this, okay? I want you to think about this for a second. I know that you might be like, we need energy to survive, and that's fine. I understand that we need energy to survive. That makes sense. All things do. But like, why does it have to be so complicated and annoying? And I know you might think, oh, well, you're just putting the food in your mouth. That's not that. No, it's more complicated than that, and I don't like it. Because like, think about plants, okay? Do you know how much money I would pay to be able to just sit there and get energy by doing nothing? I would pay to like have solar panels installed on my shoulders. If that was a thing that I could do, I would do that. And I would look like a fool, but I would be happy. That's why it is very frustrating to me, because like water, I like water because you can just take the water, and as long as the water is not poisonous with, bacteria or something, you just drink the water and it goes in your mouth and then you're done, right? But with food, you have to do all this complicated stuff. You have to figure out which food is okay to have. Like think about all the people who had to figure out what food was okay and like what wasn't food. Do you know how many people died because they just ate like a poisonous mushroom or something? That was never the problem with water, aside from figuring out that, there can be dirt in it and bacteria and stuff. I just don't get why it has to be. And then you can't even eat the same with water. It's just water, right? Like you drink the water. But with food, if I went to the store and was like, I'm gonna eat tofu for the rest of my life, I would get sick. You need like nutrients and like vitamins and proteins and carbohydrates and stuff, and that just makes me angry. It tees me off because I don't want to do all that. I want to just. Why did that miss? No, the gameplay's not important. I want to just be there and exist and not have to worry about that. I just want to drink food like it's water. And I can't do that. And I'm questioning the universe on why they did that to me specifically. I know it's targeted. But, okay. There's only so far that I can go with food, to be honest, because I've already outed myself as a crazy person. So I have something else that I don't understand that makes me angry, okay? And I know that I've talked about this previously, okay? But I don't care. I want to talk about it again. And I'm going to take it from a slightly different angle this time, okay? But I want to talk about just negative, sad, depressing things in movies and video games and stories and stuff like that. Because it makes me mad. And, I know there's a difference between critics and like just your average Joe when it comes to depressing content or really dark content or whatever it might be. Actually, no, you know what? This is on the fly split. We're talking about critics first because, oh my gosh, the word critic is like a trigger word to me. When I hear critic, I'm like in fight or flight almost. Because also, wait, what does this do? Never mind, gameplay's not important. Why is that not doing anything? Wait. What does this mean? Does it do anything? I am so screwed. What the heck? What is this? Oh my gosh. You know what? No, we're just restarting. Okay? I actually just screwed myself. Okay, but gameplay's not important, so that doesn't matter. You don't care if I restart. Okay, where was I? Critics? I do not understand why they exist. Like, why are they here? I understand why they existed back when we didn't have the internet, because you couldn't really get a whole lot of info on movies, and they were kind of your way of like screening. But now that we have the internet, we are basically just paying people to say that they are smarter than we are. And it's just movies. Like, it's as simple as, did you like the movie or not? And yet we pay critics to be like that, just to say that their opinion is more important than ours. And I don't understand why we would pay them money to do that. They bank on that. They feel almost like a sense of insecurity, I feel like, where they have to have different opinions than the general public. And so because of that, they like all this stuff that nobody else likes. It's like, oh, it's so different. Yeah, it's different because it's dumb. The reason why no one's ever done it before is because it's freaking stupid, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say this. I don't want to say this, and if you like this, that's fine. I don't care. Citizen Kane is not the greatest movie ever made, okay? I don't care if he says Rosebud. It's just a movie. It's just a black and white movie. And I'm sure it's not a bad movie. I see critics still talk about Citizen Kane to this day. And I don't get it. Like, you'll go to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it'll be like, oh, well, it's no Citizen Kane, but why? I don't need every movie to be Citizen Kane. I wouldn't want every movie to be Citizen Kane. And critics do that all the time, where they're like, well, I understand this. I know the average layman wouldn't understand this complicated film. Like, what is it? Bo wants to be his mom or whatever. I don't remember what that movie is called, but it's by the guy who did Midsummer and stuff. Why do people want to watch that movie? I guess that now we're getting in judgmental territory almost. And again, if people like the movie, I'm not going to get mad. But what makes me mad is when critics are like, well, people just don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand, and I don't want to understand. I just want to watch the movie, and I don't want to spend the next 18 hours trying to think about what it means for my life. I just want to point and laugh at the ha ha moment, okay? But that's separate, okay? I think that's a separate thing. When the average person is watching a movie and they like dark content or stuff, this is my theory, okay? And I know you might think I'm dumb for thinking this, but I'm the only one here, and no one gets to say that I'm wrong, so I'm assuming that I'm right, but by default, okay? I think that the average person is tricking themselves into enjoying dark, gritty. Well, I hate that word, gritty. Don't that. Well, that's for another day. But the word gritty just triggers me. But forget that. I think that the average person just tricks themselves into watching darker content and thinking that it's something that they enjoy because they remember it more. And hear me out on this, okay? When we talk about like how we remember things, okay, just any memory in general, we naturally as human beings, just by our nature, remember negative stuff more than positive stuff. And it's not because positive stuff is like less important. It's because a lot of positive memories happen over time. They're kind of like split up. Like you can have, big times like Mana and Poor. Gameplay doesn't matter. You can have big events like a birthday party or something, right? And you'll remember that positively if you had a good time, unless it's like a clown showed up or something. But most of the time when you have a birthday party, you will be able to enjoy that, right? And you'll remember that fondly. But a lot of other positive memories don't have like a specific time or place or anything like that. When you're having fun with your friends for 3 hours in a Discord call, you're not going to remember that the next day, right? That's not how it works. And that's because it's split up over a long period of time. You might remember that you like your friends, but you're not going to think back to a specific memory. With negative stuff, it's all super concentrated in one little tidbit. It's like one little space, right? So if I get really angry, like I am now, trying to hold myself back from, ripping my shirt in rage, I'm going to remember that thing that made me upset, right? Or like if something makes you really sad, you're like, oh, that's so, oh, bro, that's so messed up, bro. You're going to remember that, right? So that's what I think it is. I think that people confuse remembering something as being this big deal, whereas the like happy stuff kind of flies under the radar because you don't remember it. You might like the movie, but you're not going to like remember the time where, Jimmy and Martha, I'm not doing the random name comparison thing. Forget that. You know what I'm trying to say, okay? And that's why people use dark stuff to cover up bad writing. And if you have good writing, it doesn't matter to me if you have dark stuff or not. I might not enjoy it necessarily, but I'm going to like respect it, right? But so often do people get away with bad writing because it's dark when they wouldn't be able to get away with it if it was something, more happy or more, for example, okay? As an example, The Boys, okay? I've seen a decent chunk. Not a huge fan, but there are parts of it that I thought were cool, okay? But I want to talk about one specific, not the whole thing. I want to talk about this one specific scene, okay? The scene where Homelander, and I'm not going to click on this chest yet because I need to think about this because I'm heating up. the scene where Homelander goes to that one guy who has like the inability to see, but he has really good hearing. And Homelander is just like, "Oh, you're a disabled person," and then smacks his ears and he's bleeding. Everybody will look to that scene and be like, "Oh my gosh, dude, that was so messed up, like when he did that thing." And they're going to think that that's a really cool scene because like that's what Homelander would do. He's evil. No. Even if he is an evil enough character to do that, which they have shown, to be fair, okay? That's not, that doesn't make any sense because he's in like the training zone. So when the guy leaves, like he's gonna leave with bleeding ears, I'm sure an ambulance will be called. And that, like, people, he's the last person he's with is Homelander. And Homelander is supposed to be this guy, like you could say, oh, well, he's just evil, he doesn't care. He does care. That's his whole character arc, is that he cares about other people's opinions in the public view, just not in private. Why would he do that? And he does that every time. Like on screen, he's just the most evil he can be, regardless of the context. And like, you're telling me there hasn't been a single Twitter post? Homelander has not gotten canceled for smacking a person's ears until they bleed? I don't think that's true. I think there would be at least one Twitter post. And you can think of it as like a post-apocalyptic, they have control over the media, whatever you want to say. But it is just, why even take that chance? Homelander's character is not supposed to be that, right? He's supposed to be conscious of it. He's supposed to be smart, and he's not. He's a big dumb, okay? And that kind of writing gets through because you're so focused on the messed up parts that you no longer care about the actual plot of the thing. The plot holes get filled up by the shock value, and that's what makes me angry. And I think people confuse remembering something with good writing. That's my theory, and no one's here to tell me otherwise, so I'm right. That's all I have to say about... No, you know what? That's not all I have to say, because I have another topic that's related to this that makes me angry, and that's endings, okay? Why do they always mess it up right at the end? Why can't you get your bad writing out of the way first when it's at the start when I don't care? Because if you mess up the start, I can just skip that part. But if you mess up the ending, then you've ruined the whole thing. Like, why is that the part that people ruin the most? I don't... Just focus on that part. And the thing is, it is not hard to write an inoffensive ending, right? It is not hard to write an ending that people are like, well, it wasn't the best, but like it didn't ruin anything, right? That's not hard. You could do, a literal toddler could do that, okay? And I've written stuff, okay? I'm not a good writer, but I've written stuff. So I know, I have some theories as to why this is. Number one, they feel like they have to have this big, important ending. They want everyone to feel like it was a big deal, which, mistake number one, if you're gonna be a big deal, then the ending will come naturally. Okay? Otherwise, you're just a loser. And you have to accept that and write a mediocre ending to not ruin things for me. Okay? The other thing that I think that people do is they have an ending picked out ahead of time. Like, they know from the start what they want their ending to be. But I've written, so I know, when you plan out a scene, it doesn't... When you get to that scene, you can have it planned out from the start. When you get there, your characters are often different than what you thought they were going to be. Or you didn't quite write to get there fast enough, or the development just went in a different direction, or whatever it might be. I'm going to heal here, not that the gameplay matters. When you get there, you want to do the scene, but you have to, if you're a good writer, you have to change the scene to reflect how your characters have developed. But I think some authors of scripts or books or whatever get it in their head that, like, no, this is the ending. And so they very quickly morph the story into what they want it to be so that it can match the ending that they planned, even if they didn't naturally get there. And it ruins everything for everybody. You don't get to have any cool, like, money stuff because you ruined your thing. And why did that not? Is that all slime? It doesn't matter. Now I got slimed and now I'm lost. And the thing is, you ruin the show for everyone who liked it up until that point, or movie or whatever. And I just feel like if you don't know how to write an ending, just accept the mediocre ending and don't ruin anything, okay? That's what I think. That's what I would do, since I'm a mediocre writer. So I know this next one. Actually, I know the gameplay doesn't matter, but I can't lose to the first. Like, this would be literally the most embarrassing thing of all time. In all seriousness, I cannot lose to the first boss. I would never be able to live this down. Just give me a second here while I try and actually play this and focus on. I think I actually got worse when I started focusing. Why do physics not work the way that I want them to? When I point the thing, like I don't understand how my brain works. I see the line, I can see where the ball is going, and then this happens. Oh my gosh, please let me kill this man. I will cry myself to sleep. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. If I hit this, it'll bounce to the other. Please, for the love of all that is holy. Oh my gosh. I'm going to cry. You know what? You know what? That's fine. No, it's fine. I didn't want to win anyway. Okay, I'm back and I hate this game, and I am going to do one more because I at least have to get to the second area, even though the gameplay does not matter. I know that this is gonna seem like it comes out of left field, okay? But Love on the Spectrum. If you don't know, Love on the Spectrum is a reality TV show about people with autism dating. When I heard the concept of this show, my vision went white around the edges with heat and rage. It made me so unbelievably mad. I cannot even express to you. I just was looking at the Wikipedia article, breathing heavily. The name of the show might as well be Humans Dating, okay? What do you mean, Love on the Spectrum? This goes into a broader thing, but people who have learning struggles or developmental struggles or something is atypical neurally or whatever you want to say, right? They are just people, okay? They're just people. If you sit down and talk to someone, kid or otherwise, who has autism, if you get to know them in any capacity, you will understand that they are just a person with a very specific set of struggles, okay? The way that people think about autism, I think it's because it's a brain thing that they're oh, it's irreversible, or I don't know how people think about it, but so is social anxiety, so is depression, and to some extent so is alcoholism. It's all your brain. But for some inexplicable reason, people think of autism as being they're other human. They're not even human beings. It's not autistic person, it is person with autism, right? It is not socially anxious person, it is person with social anxiety. And all that autism really is a common subset of struggles, right? But people who struggle with autism often, typically, not all, just the same with, the struggles that they have, it isn't all the same. Oftentimes people with autism have an incredible sense of focus. It's not just autism, it's all forms of atypical neural what is this? Why is this here? Okay, gameplay doesn't matter. Now I'm lost. What am I talking about? So people treat people like it's, stop clicking. People treat people like it's this alien thing because they don't understand, right? And what we don't understand makes us angry, right? We've confirmed this. So that part I get. But listen, you didn't hear this from me, okay? This has not been grounded in science or anything. But I believe that it's not like an on or off switch, okay? There are a lot of people that I know, myself included, that have autistic tendencies, but we don't have enough of it to like be quote unquote on the spectrum. But I don't think it's just like you're either on the spectrum or you're off the spectrum. I think it keeps going past the point where, you get flagged, so to speak. I don't think that's the right term. I don't think it stops there. I think it keeps going, and you can have tendencies of autism without actually like being diagnosed with autism, right? Which makes it even more something that should be relatable, but it's not. It's completely foreign. And going back to the love on the spectrum thing, I read on Wikipedia, the greatest source of information and most reliable source of information known to man, that a lot of critics, stop hurting yourself. A lot of critics were like, oh, it's so inclusive, it's so diverse, it helps to break down stigma. And then all of the people who actually, have autism, that is not where I wanted that to go. And it just, like, I point the line, no, it's fine. People with autism, right, watch the show and they're like, this is treating people with autism like they are children. Like, they dress them up in like little outfits and they play like childish music. They have horrible advice. It's just having a different set of struggles than other people. It's not like you're an alien, right? Anyway, I've probably ranted about that enough. You wanted me to swear. You wanted me to get a swear word off. I know. I don't often say this, okay? I usually censor it a little bit. I don't like talking like this, but I think it's warranted. It really ticks me off, okay? I don't like talking like that, but it ticks me off that people say that kind of stuff. There is no normal out there, okay? You're not normal, I'm not. Well, I mean, if you didn't know that I wasn't normal before, now you do now, for sure, after this. But okay, before I go into anything else, I feel like I actually have to focus for a second. I know gameplay does not matter, but I will never forgive myself if I get to this boss and die again. They give you a literal like tutorial line that shows you where the ball is gonna go, and yet my brain does not understand how it works, and it makes me very upset. I can only plan like 0.5 seconds in advance. Oh my gosh. That's so pathetic. Okay, that should be it. I should be good, I think. No, I cannot do math, actually. But that really is, like, I go into Peglin. Oh my gosh. I go into Peglin feeling fulfilled, and I leave remembering that I shouldn't be feeling that way, you know? Like, I don't really know how else to put it other than it destroys my mentality going into this game. And it's supposed to be relaxing. Like, you couldn't have made the fun little Peglin game easy for ape brains. Why did it have to be this hard? I just, when I open the game and I think I'm going to get a relaxing experience, that's the biggest thing for me. I bought this game as a relaxing experience, and yet the only thing that happens is I stay awake at night thinking about how I can't comprehend how lines work. I don't even know what half of these things do. I just take things. Whenever I've tried strategizing before in this game, and like it just doesn't matter at all. So I feel like I would have a better chance just taking random crap than I do actually playing the game as intended. Yeah, I like that one because it helps me do the stuff without me needing to be good. I am going to let my guard down, okay? And I'm going to talk some more. The next topic that I would like to discuss is like doom scrolling. I can empathize with the very human idea that you kind of, either through curiosity or a sense of duty or whatever you want to call it, you feel like you have to know what the darkest stuff out there is. Or maybe you have an anxiety of something going horribly wrong and you missing out on the information. Or maybe you just always think that something is going horribly wrong and you want to know what it is, right? We've all been in that space before. Everyone can relate to that to some extent. But it doesn't make any sense to me that you would make that your hobby. Like that's what you do that for a living, but you don't get paid, okay? What do the kids use? TikTok? Or like, I don't know what you doom scroll on. Do you doom scroll on Twitter? Regardless, wherever you go, you're just looking at all these horrible things. No, I don't know if it's a myth or whatever. I never looked into it, but I'm going to take it as true because it benefits me. They say that like smiling or like, happy emotions or whatever extends your lifespan. And negative emotions, I don't know if it necessarily reduces your lifespan, but it at least, stress isn't good for the body and you're missing out on the happy emotions you could be having. So technically it's reducing your lifespan. I'm just going to say it is, okay? Because it's a stronger point for me. So you are literally working a job. If I fall into the fire one more time, I swear, don't try to be fancy and get the money. You're not smart enough for that. You're basically working a job and not getting paid just to reduce your life expectancy, right? Or to put it another way, like, and there are hobbies out there that reduce your life expectancy, right? That's fine. But a lot of those hobbies, at least, like, even if I don't do them, they're somewhat understandable because they have some kind of, they make you feel good in some way usually. Like if you're an alcoholic or even if you just, drink or smoke casually or do drugs, or like if you do crazy stunts or something, I don't know what people do. But if you do those things, there's some joy in that, right? But then when you're doom scrolling, literally all that's happening is that you are reducing your life expectancy in order for you to feel bad. You're just doubling down on the worst situations. Like, at least do something that you will enjoy if you're gonna do something that is bad for you, right? But you just feel bad. I mean, maybe they're into that. Maybe that's the thing that I don't understand. Maybe it's like, no, I don't believe that. I do not believe that depression is a kink, okay? I think that people should try to do things that make them happy. And as simple as that sounds, I don't think it is that simple. And regardless of how you do that, I am so smart. I wasn't even paying attention, but I am very smart. And now I feel fulfilled again. And now I like this game. Because, it's something that, less so than angry, I would say that one kind of makes me... No, let's be honest, it does make me angry. I just get angry at things. I'm not going to pretend like it makes me... It does make me sad, but it goes into anger. It's like primary and secondary emotion. That's how it works. So I'm covering up my sadness through anger, and that's okay, because I'm mad about it. I'm just going to be honest. I really do kind of feel like a crazy person right now doing this. I feel like I should be put in a straitjacket because I'm just kind of like, I'm looking around a little bit and there's no one in here. And I've been talking this whole time about all these different things. And no, like, who cares about any of this except me? What is this? Okay, we don't need that. We're gonna get this thing, the thing that makes me feel like I have a big brain because I have 2 instead of 1. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I can do this for a whole lot longer. Usually I just do 1 run of this and then get angry and leave. Like I was trying to go over here, just for the record. In fact, you know what? Rather than the obviously embarrassing way that this will end, where I will just die to the boss or whatever it might be, I'm not getting to the end. Let's be honest with ourselves, okay? I'm just gonna say that that was good. I achieved my goal. I beat the boss, and I am content in this moment. I just made fun of people for doing things that they don't like and doom scrolling. I'm going to take my own advice and just leave this here. I don't even know why I picked this game in the first place. And you know the worst part? When I'm done, tomorrow, I'm probably going to try and play this again. And I have 10 hours in this game, and I have not felt any form of self confidence any of those 10 hours that I have played. I don't know why I keep playing this game. I feel catharsis in that I was right about so many things today, and I feel better about myself as a whole, despite the fact that I can't shoot in a straight line and understand how physics work. You know what? Rather than doom scrolling, rather than watching depressing media, rather than watching Love on the Spectrum, because nobody should be watching that, just yell at a screen for an hour. You'll feel better. I promise. That's it for me. But thanks for being a part of my TED Talk, huh? And in the future, stop, this is just for everyone in the universe, but stop making me mad. Okay? Thank you.